everyone, Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. How is it going? A little bit different video today, right? So we are in the Jaeger bomb, right? So this is a campaign ship from the last couple of years or something. I don't remember when we got this one, right? But a torpedo boat, right? I think Pan-European, what is it? Or Commonwealth, or one of those weird, oddball ones, right? So, but lots of torpedoes, and so we're kind of doing a little bit of an unconventional build here using Marissa La Loca, who is technically a cruiser commander, but this Sharks on the Run perk that we're highlighting here has an up to 60% flooding chance even for destroyers, right? So, right, I've been trying this out. I don't know if it's any better, right? Like it's tough to tell, right? Like, because you're giving up on your, unstoppable perk that most of us use for destroyers, right? So you won't have that. And then, yeah, so like, I'm trying to decide if I like this or not, right? But like, we'll have a good game here. And it's even still tough to tell that, like, you'd think like, we're at 45% chance, increased chance of flooding. But it goes up to 60, right? So I don't have the commander maxed out just yet, right? And we'll see if we ever do, right, with all the commanders that exist out there. But anyway, right? So the flood chance is kind of low with this ship to start with. So I was kind of like, well, maybe we can, really buff that out, right? Because with how many torpedoes you can launch, each one of them having that much more increased flood chance, right? And so basically trying to go for a flooding build. But yeah, so a little bit aggressive here. We know there's two other destroyers, right? So if one comes around the corner here, we might screw ourselves over. And here is a lightning, right? So if you're in pretty much any other destroyer in the game and you come across a Jaeger, you can probably outgun it, right? So this lightning makes a huge mistake. He definitely could have gotten me. I could have been the first one dead here, right? Like, and we end up being top of the board, right? Like, so just like, keep that in mind, right? So the guns are absolute terrible on this. Its AA is almost non-existent, right? But I did take a couple of torp shots at that lightning just in case he pushed back up, and he did. So we got lucky there. And then, yeah, the guns are just terrible, but since he only has a little bit left, he already damaged the flood, right? So we were able to finish him off quite easily. We get a hit on the battleship. He gets a flood along with his torpedo hit, right? So right now we're at 4 torp hits with 2 floods, right? So we're, 50-50 thus far, right? So it's just like, it's tough to tell how much it's really, really helping, right? But yeah. So I need to get out of this situation. This Flander is pushing up. I need to get myself away from here. I'm not going to lie, we got lucky with that lightning, right? Like, definitely should have just kept coming and probably could have gunned us down is kind of what I'm thinking there. But we're going to push up because this Flander is going to get close enough to spot us. That is one thing. You don't get a smoke screen with this ship. And so for inspirations, I think I built into concealment, and we're still not that great at 5.5, right? Because we're not running a destroyer commander, so there's not as much like concealment stuff like within there, right? So we'll do 2 racks at the Flander, see if we can't get a flood. We do with the second torpedo hit there, right? So yeah, now we're up to 7 torp hits with 3 floods, right? So it's tough to tell, but he is having to let that one flood for a little bit here, and then he's going to keep pushing around the corner. So we'll take advantage of that. I'll shoot a little short with the anticipation that maybe he'll slow down or turn in as he comes around the corner. But he's definitely going to take some more hits. And then, yeah, we're so close to him, it's kind of like we might as well fire our guns. But I want to try and sneak around the corner because he's going to focus fire on us, right? We're almost dead, right? A terrible health pool on this ship, right? The only thing it's got going for it when it comes to being shot at is it's kind of a low profile, right? It sits low in the water, so people tend to like shoot over top of you quite a bit. But yeah, we'll use our last heal there, but virtually, get away unscathed, right? So we have to be a little bit more cautious about being spotted from here on out. But both of their destroyers are gone, so we should have plenty of heads up and be able to play this smart and not get sunk, right? As long as we do it correctly from here on out, right? A little bit aggressive in the beginning, which is like, fine, whatever. We survived it, right? But decisions were made that could have ultimately ended up poorly for us, so we got away with it. That's my play style sometimes, I guess, right? But yeah, we'll play this smart. You know, you think like the appropriate thing to do would be play smart in the beginning and then get aggressive later. But yeah, I learned my lessons the hard way, I guess. So we'll mix up some torpedo shots here, right? So I tend to like, you know, my strategy with this is to send two racks of torps at somebody, hold on to the other two for a little bit, you know, try and space them out. Maybe shoot at somebody else, and then, you know, try and trigger multiple floods. But we're still sitting at 3 floods. Somebody finished off that Flander. The airplanes are going to see us here, so he might take a shot at us with his torp bombers, and he does. Looks a little bit close for, okay, yeah, he either whiffed that. Yeah, he whiffed that. Okay. All right, we got a flood on somebody else. That's letting it flood. Nope, there. Oh, is it? Yep, still flooding. Okay. It's not the Florida. We didn't shoot at him yet. Sent that one, and of course he's going to die. We'll send towards the carrier. I think, what was it, in Iowa or something else that was just north of A that we must have gotten that flood on. That's still going here. And then I'm going to try and get this zone before these torpedo bombers can come back at us. All right, we'll push. Yeah, we got the zone. We'll push up so we can try and get ourselves lined up with these torps. Slow down. All right, just barely got away from that one. Which way is? Or was it? Maybe it was the lion that we hit with the flood before. Right, so they're running low on ships here. We do have one more torp reload booster. I'm going to send one towards that lion in case he pushes up. But yeah, we get the flood on the carrier there. So it must have auto-damaged con that, because I don't see our damage ticking up anymore. But this Iowa here is pretty healthy. And we've got one more reload booster, right? So we'll probably use that here. We'll wait for these torpedoes to get loaded, this rack. We'll send them, and then we'll reload boost and send the rest of what we got. Just because the game momentum's kind of going in our favor, so let's use what we got. There we go with reload booster. I waited for that one more rack to go. But yeah, I mean, you could send 12 and then hit a reload booster, ideally, right? Like if you wanted to maximize torpedoes all at once, which isn't always the smartest like strategy, but right, you could send 12, reload boost, send another 12, and then you've got 24 torpedoes in the water at the same time. So there's the potential there, but like I said, I'm trying to go for floods, and you know, you have to kind of think like, you know, if people, they hit the damage con right after the first torpedo hits them, or they had a fire and they see your torps coming and then they hit damage con, right? So like people can have damage control going and then you won't even trigger the flood. So it's kind of tough to tell how good your ratio really is, but we're at 17 hits with 6 floods right now. And then of course it's, you know, a matter of how long they let those floods go for. So, yep, we did get a couple more torpedo hits, so we're at 19 here. And there's a little bit of a concealment aspect to this build, too, for the torpedoes, at least. So they are a little bit tougher to detect. And fairly speedy, too. So I'm going to YOLO push in, right? We've got this game won. I know that once we kind of come around the corner here, this, I forget what battleship this was. Was this the Lion? But yeah, he should be able to finish this off, right? But I'm going to go around the corner. We're going to have all 4 racks loaded. So we'll send what we got and then shoot our guns until we're dead. And then I think that somebody else ends up killing the other battleship anyway. But yeah, I'll do a couple with the like narrow spread, and then we'll do a couple racks with the wide spread, just in case he starts maneuvering at all. But yeah, he's moving slow. Just now sees us. Probably didn't expect us to be aggressive here. But we get one torpedo hit. Do we get a second one? Nope, yeah, so he manages to dodge most of them, unfortunately for us. So we'll shoot our guns, right? We're going to be within spotting range for a little bit here. Someone's telling me to get back, which, yes, would be the smart thing to do, but if we could trigger a fire, maybe we would get the kill here. Doing a piddly 363 damage with each of these HE shell hits. But yeah, so he's got just a teeny tiny bit left, so we get an assist middle there. And then I think this other battleship's almost dead. Wherever he is. What is that? Was that Atlantico that we originally almost ran into? Yeah. So why these guys don't decide to ram into each other, I don't know. Because that's what I would do. End the game the fun way, guys, right? If you see the guaranteed win or loss, right, just go for the ram. That's my motto. If I ever get merch on my page, it'll be go for the ram, will be the shirt design. So did the carrier get him with a torpedo? Somebody's still spotting him. Is that our destroyer or is that the carrier? Should have fast forwarded this. So we'll take a peek at the scoreboard here, and then I'll go through the full commander build and how I have it loaded out. Thought this guy got like finished off sooner. All right, here comes dive bombers. And then, yeah, battleship's got an angle on him, the Vanguard, so there we go. All right, take a quick peek here. See where we ended up. So yeah, there's Marissa LaLoca, 139,000 damage, right? That's pretty good for a Jaeger. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, like you really do have to build 100% into the torpedoes just because, you know, I mean, I added some concealment, right? But like, just because the guns and the AA are they're terrible, right? But yeah, 20 torpedo hits with 7 floods, right? So, yeah. And then, yeah, 3,000 XP, that puts us at the top. Walk away almost $500,000 in silver. And then, yeah, for the build, I'm using aiming system mod here, propulsion mod for slot 2, and then concealment for slot 3. I don't know why I have, you know, gun control system here. I probably rather have the torpedo reload here. The only thing is you take that hit for, like, they're more likely to get incapacitated, but I'm going to switch it for next time I play this ship. And then, yeah, Marissa LaLoca, so she's a cruiser commander, right? So this base trait is actually kind of wasted, right? Cruiser torpedo detectability and cruiser torpedo range, right? So there was a corresponding ship that would have paired well with her that I did not pick up, right? I just went for the commander. But yeah, I'm doing concealment for inspirations, right? So I'm only using her on the Jaeger, I think, for this. I'm using her base trait in some other places for inspirations. But yeah, torp speed here. So you can see what we're getting at. Like there's a lot of torpedo-centric perks here, so that's kind of why I'm like, all right, you know, this might work on the destroyers as well. But Sharks on the Run is kind of the perk that interested in me. So you get this destroyer torpedo flood chance. We're at 45% more flood chance right now, but right, if I get her fully upgraded, it'll go up to 60. And then killing distance, you know, these first 2 perks looks like they should work with destroyers, right? Torpedo detectability minus 150 meters, right? So that's giving your torpedoes some concealment, right? Enemies don't see them as quickly. The last perk, though, where it's like, what was that? That last perk was like more damage the further they travel, right? That specifies cruiser. So I think if you don't have her, I would probably use Stig Eriksson. I think I was using him previously. So yeah, destroy, yeah, and then, so yeah, if you were 100% free to play, this is what I had selected. I think, you know, like you're getting, yeah, subsurface venture, more torp speed and reload time here, and then concealment here. And then I have perceptive on here, but you could go maybe the like reload. I don't know if I would use less is more because that takes away some range. Maybe I would probably use back in stock maybe over perceptive, but you know, I think I was playing around with perceptive because, you know, then you could kind of see where people, you know, where your nearest enemy is. But yeah, you get unstoppable then, right, for your legendary perk, which is like kind of my go-to when it comes to destroyer play. So I'm kind of still trying on the fence whether this paid commander build is any better, right? I feel like it's just like different, but like, yeah, if you're if you run into the higher tiers, more you would expect people to manage their damage control party a little bit more appropriately, right? So but yeah, like who knows, right? Like, but yeah, I was hoping to get all the floods and then tons of flood damage with it, and it's kind of been, we've been doing okay with it, right? It hasn't been as game changing as I was hoping for, right? But thank you guys for watching my video all the way through here. We do Legends videos just about every single day, so make sure you are following the channel, right? Click my little icon that shows up down in the bottom right of the video at the end here, and then yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again.